Have you ever wondered why some people rise from nothing to achieve greatness, while others stay stuck in the same place their whole lives? The answer isn't luck, money, or connections. It's mindset. Your life becomes what you believe about yourself. Today, I'll tell you a story of a beggar who transformed his life, not by magic, not by chance, but by changing one simple thought. This story will inspire you to see your own life in a whole new way. In the heart of a noisy railway station, where trains came and went and the crowd never stopped moving, there sat a beggar. Every day, he stretched out his hand to strangers, hoping for a coin or two. He thought this was his destiny, just surviving from whatever people gave. One day, as he was begging, he noticed a businessman step onto the platform. The man wore a sharp suit, carried a polished briefcase, and walked with the confidence of someone who knew where he was going. The beggar thought, "This man must be rich. If I ask him, surely he'll give me a good amount." So, with hope in his eyes, he stretched out his hand. But instead of money, the businessman stopped and asked, "Do you always take from others? Have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar was shocked. He stammered, "Sir, I'm just a beggar. I survive by asking. I have nothing to give." The businessman looked at him calmly and said, "If you believe you have nothing to give, then you also have no right to ask. Life works on exchange. If you want to receive, you must first give." And with that, he boarded the train and disappeared into the distance. If you want to receive, you must first give. And with that, he boarded the train and disappeared into the distance. If you want to receive, you must first give. And with that, he boarded the train and disappeared into the distance. The beggar stood frozen, those words echoing in his mind. If you want to receive, you must first give. That night, the beggar couldn't sleep. He kept asking himself, "What can I possibly give? I'm poor, I have nothing." Days passed. He didn't even beg, too lost in thought. Then, one morning, he noticed a patch of wildflowers blooming near the tracks. Their bright colors caught his eye, and a new thought struck him. What if I give people a flower every time they give me a coin? So he tried it. The next time someone dropped a coin into his hand, he smiled and handed them a flower. The person's face lit up. They weren't just giving charity anymore. They were receiving something in return. To his surprise, people started giving him more. They smiled, thanked him, and even looked forward to seeing him again. He realized something powerful. People value exchange. When he gave, they gave more. Weeks later, the businessman returned to the station. The beggar rushed over and said, "Sir, today I have something to give you. If you give me money, I'll give you flowers in return." The businessman smiled, handed him some cash, and accepted the flowers. "Now you understand," he said. "Today, you are no longer a beggar. You are a businessman." Those words changed everything. The beggar finally understood the secret. Success is not about what you lack, it's about what you can give. He stopped seeing himself as a helpless man. Instead, he saw himself as a trader, someone who could create value. He left the station and never begged again. Within 6 months, he started a small flower-selling business. His days of stretching out his hand for pity were gone. Now he offered beauty in exchange for money, and people gladly paid. One day, dressed in clean clothes and carrying fresh flowers, he ran into the same businessman again. The man looked at him in surprise. "Wait, you're the beggar I met months ago." The flower seller smiled. "I was never really a beggar. I just hadn't realized my value yet." The day you spoke to me, I stopped seeing myself as poor. I became a businessman in my mind first and then in reality. And that's the truth we often forget. Your thoughts shape your future. If you see yourself as small, you'll stay small. But if you believe in your worth and focus on what you can give, you'll rise. So ask yourself today, are you thinking like a beggar, always waiting for someone else to lift you up? Or are you thinking like a businessman, creating value and giving first? Remember this, the power to transform your life doesn't start with money, luck, or opportunity. It starts with a single thought. Change your thoughts, and you change your future.